world. I speak out against this war because I'm disappointed with America. There can be no great disappointment where there is no great love. I'm disappointed with our failure to deal positively and forthrightly with the triple evils of racism, economic exploitation, and militarism. We are presently moving down a dead-end road that can lead to national disaster. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual death.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could have the ordained reverends and ministers of Jesus Christ and the rabbis and the imams and the other clergies and members of other great big shot organizations to take a stand, not behind closed doors but out front on the issues that could bring about the resurrection of the economically dead in our communities. Would it not be beautiful if we had these images to do what the preachers did back in the rough historical past of the black African American communities? It seemed like the black preachers and other black leaders today are frozen in time because of some satanic serum that makes them just go to church and say they are Christians and saying that they are Muslims or Jews or Hindu or etc., etc. But when it comes down to going beyond their own comfort zone or maybe putting themselves on a line wherein they may lose a job or they may really fit into a person that is carrying on the dream of Dr. King, they just refuse to do it, and it's kind of sad. But then again, I guess that's the way we live. It is what it is, as my friend Dr.
We must be prepared to match action with words by seeking out every creative means of protest possible. As we counsel young men concerning military service, we must clarify for them our nation's role in Vietnam and challenge them with the alternative of conscientious objection. And no matter what you think of Mr. Muhammad Ali's religion,
you know, when we hear the criticism of our president by Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck and black female columnist Stop Harker and Bill O'Reilly and the rest of the gang, that is nothing new for black African American citizens in this country. We realize that every black leader that stood up for his people were called all kind of names, and Muhammad Ali was a prime example. They called him everything, and they wanted him to be defeated when he had a winning record. But they called him every dirty name that you can think of, and Martin Luther King was no different. Jesse L. Jackson definitely beyond all liars. He was extremely hated, and they say over 100 threats was on his life when he ran for president. And so this is nothing new for us, what they're doing to our beloved president. In fact, we expect Rush Limbaugh and the Lester Maddoxes and the George Wallaces and the Bull Connors and the David Dukes of the Klan and others. We expect that mentality to be alive and well in our country, because my grandmother told me about the same thing over in Brooks County when I was a child. And we knew who the real racists were, although a lot of people wouldn't know them, but because our grandparents and great-grandparents had the historical mental archival record, they were able to tell the children who was who and what was what.
You certainly have to admire his courage. At this point, I should make it clear that while I have tried in these last moments to give a voice to the voiceless on Vietnam and to understand the arguments of those who are called enemy, I am deeply concerned about our own troops, and I'm as concerned about them as anything else. For it occurs to me that what we are submitting them to in Vietnam is not simply the brutalizing process that goes on in any war where armies face each other and seek to destroy. We are adding cynicism to the process of death. For they must know after the short period that none of the things we claim to be fighting for are really involved. Before long, they must know that their government has sent them into a struggle among Vietnamese. And the more sophisticated surely realize that we are on the side of the wealthy and the secure while we create a hell for the poor. The other thing that we must face as a people, we are put in the terrible situation of having to go and do battle and fight and kill colored people and poor people who are in the very same situation that we find ourselves in today.
It's kvci.blogspot.com, YouTube, Boston, G.B.R. keeping you informed because that's what we do. We're pulling up to John Robinson's house and we'll stop here. But we will continue to fight. We will continue the struggle of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., not just in January or not just for 3 or 4 days. But we trying to live a life of commitment that carries on the real dream of Dr. King. Bye-bye. We're gone. May God bless you and may heaven smile upon you. Bye-bye. We're gone.